Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back on Inspiring. Today, this is a platform that is there to inspire, inform, educate you, and motivate you for a better life. And if you haven't subscribed or if it's your first time to be on this platform, you please first of all subscribe before we move on, because we have brought one of the most requested so far. You have told us to be versatile, to not go only with the musicians or we go with the entrepreneurs only, but you've been requesting for the producers too. And one of the rising names that have been coming up always, he's a businessman. He's first of all a producer, he's an entrepreneur, he's a philanthropist, he's more than what you can think. He's none other than Martin Musoke, or Artin Pro. You're welcome, brother.
I know the editors will put some.
Yeah, you need to put that.
It's amazing to be here. I feel blessed to be on your show.
Wow,
Thank you
wow,
for
wow.
having me.
Yeah, so basically we are so privileged to have you and fit in your tight schedule.
Yeah.
It's not something usual.
Yeah.
We know you are so busy, but since you've created this and speak to the Congolese out there or speak to the youths out there, we feel so privileged for sure.
I feel blessed to be here.
Now, how are you, Artin?
I'm amazing.
You're amazing.
I'm amazing.
By the way, where we are at Axtra Nation. If you don't know what that is, you learn in the interviews.
Yeah, as you proceed.
But we are at the studio.
Yeah.
So just take us a bit in your day.
Yeah.
How is kind of a usual day in Artin's life?
My day is quite funny for now. For the least I know, at least all I can say, I only program it accordingly to what kind of activities I have in a day. So sometimes I wake up early, sometimes I wake up late. It's just the way it's supposed to be normally. Yeah.
And actually, one of the common habits I've seen with artists or people in the limelight, they usually sleep late.
They don't sleep late. They sleep at their own convenience, given the kind of structure their job attains.
Okay.
It's that simple.
So you too, you're among the people who sleep. You are at 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
I mean, whenever it pleases me to do so, to have a rest, I normally go for a rest.
Wow.
When I feel like I should work at this particular time in the moment, I go for that still. So I'm that. It's that simple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we shall talk about you personally. Basically, we are here to get an inspiration from you, because you're one of the people or one of the top producers in this country. We can't say of 5 producers without mentioning your name.
Thanks.
We can't for sure.
Thanks.
Like since 5 years ago, surprisingly.
So,
What is it like, or how does the name Artin come about? Apart from the brand we see, like who is Artin before this brand we see?
Artin, first of all, is an artist.
Wow.
Okay, a Ugandan artist who is a music lover. Like I love music so deep, and the whole, of course, art at large. Sometimes I like photography, sometimes I like videography, but I'm simply an artist lover.
By the way, let me not cut you short, but talking about photography, do you know a certain guy called JahGraphics?
Of course, I know the guy.
You know Jah?
He's just amazing. He's actually one guy.
Wow.
I've been to his studio, and whenever he delivers, people are like, yo, where did you go? That's something normally. Because sometimes you tend to take photos and they are just normal because everyone does it.
Everyone does.
But when you go to this particular person and everyone is asking, who the hell is that on? It's mind blowing.
So can we say most of the stunning pictures on your page,
Instagram? On my page, some are tagged, some are non tagged, but he's behind somewhere.
Wow.
on my content.
Jack, shout out to you. That's one of the
big
people
man thing.
We are really proud of in the community.
Yeah, man.
Jack, shout out to you. But you were saying you are an artist.
Basically, I'm an artist. I'm a music lover. I love art. I love MDD's kind
That's
of
music, dance, drama.
I like drawing.
Yeah.
I like drawings. I like sculptures. I love everything.
Basically, you are an artist in its fullest form.
We can't say, we
Yeah.
can't conclude with that. Yeah.
But one of the things, surprisingly, if some people have dug deep into your story, you were a church person.
Yeah.
Like
I'm still a church person.
Oh, so I should correct my.
I am a church person.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that. How do you what kind of background do you have for your family?
Okay, basically when you're growing, if you have a family that coincides with God and knows how to pray, and that's the kind of family I'm talking about. The kind of family, the kind of background I hold until of late. So I come from a Christian kind of background. We had a family that used to sing in church, used to lead in school, like church choir. So that kind of background grew up with me until of late. Yeah. So I'm standing on that kind of background.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people when they gain the status or the fame you have reached and the success, they tend to forget the background and they tend to part ways. I mean, like, how can you say the church shaped you to the man you are today?
For starters, the music that I portray out there is highly inspired by the church. Like I've said in the beginning, we used to sing in church. I used to play the keyboard in church. So before all that I can be portraying out there has a root, behind. So there is no way you can eliminate church, from each and every story I can always tell. That's why still of late we give thanks that we've belonged to the church fraternity since day one.
And I was so glad to see you recently at Pastor Bugembe's church.
Yeah.
Was it so? The worship house.
That's my church. I always perform there.
Wow, thank you so much for sure. But we're not only talking about that, but what schools did you go to? Just shout out to your hobbies.
KPS, Church Prince School, Gaza, Cambridge, Mook. I went to a lot of schools, but maybe I should mention only those a few where I used to to get my certificate.
So you went to Mook, by the way?
Yeah, I went to Mook.
Oh, I thought you dropped out somewhere. That's what people think.
I went to Mook, but I never completed the course. I simply branched to this production thing first, and then maybe some time later we'll have to go back for another course.
And then you joined this production house. How does that come about? Who initiates you in? Who gives you the idea?
At least a friend of mine called me once. He was like, "Hey, there is this studio." I was lately working from a studio called M1.
M1.
Owned by a brother called John Mary. So this friend
John Mary, shout out. I know a lot of artists whom that guy has groomed for sure.
Yeah, he's a blessing to society.
He's really a blessing.
So then I received a call from someone. This person told me, "Hey, there is a simple studio in Makinde. How about if you tried it? I know you've done all that you could down there in Makerere. How about if you tried you tried blessing somewhere else?" And yes, I was positive about the call. Something I took on. I joined. I came to Machinde, and boom, the rest is history.
And this is where you are now. But in that studio, how long did you spend working for somebody under an umbrella
At
brand?
least 1 year. I worked at that particular studio 1 year. It's called Caton. Then I moved to JahLive the second year. Then
Oh, you worked with JahLive?
Yeah, before. Then the other years we came to Axtra Nation. We started our thing. Yeah.
A lot of people have different pronunciation when it comes to your brand. Some people Axtra, Extra.
If you went to a kindergarten, pronunciations tend to differ. Extra, they don't say A. Some people will be like Axtra, some people will be like Extra. So it's just grammar. But
what was the intention? What came to your mind when you gave? How do you read it?
Axtra Nation is the name. The name belongs to a company, a brand, a company, Axtra Nation Limited by a limited Axtra Nation limited company, and I'm a director in it. So it's just simply a name to simply differentiate us from the rest.
The rest, because when you search Axtra Nation, there are very many, like with the E.
Of course, so there is a lot entailed in the name. We had to beat traffic, but it's embedded in our works.
Wow.
The meaning of the name is embedded in our works. If you've got a chance to listen to some of our works, it is extra.
I mean, like 90% of the people who are here have had definitely 3 or 2 songs
at least, sure.
Because you can't say you are listening to Ugandan music each and every year without, because every year you get like 5 songs in the top 10 songs.
We give thanks.
Either 3 or 5 songs at least they are produced by Artin Pro.
That is something.
Actually, some people ask, like, who is that lady for the drop? Is that the drop? Yeah, like.
Oh, she's a special woman, a special artist. At some point, we'll come back to give her shout outs.
Shout outs to you. That has made sense in a lot of ways.
Up next on Inspiring Today, brought to you by Spring Brands.
So at least by the time we released Bienenya, people are starting, more people are starting to give us an A.
But would you say Fik maybe?